A little techno after dark spice since we got him on the broadcast here.
Get a little preview, little 1996 preview.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, now
All
that the
right, let's
dust,
see.
the trade, timing. I don't know. It didn't really seem like a ton of crazy trades went down. It's a lot of nipping and tucking.
Oh, look at this. The cuts deadline is approaching in 5 minutes.
Ooh.
Could
Did
do
you
a
guys
little.
notice any? Was there any big trades? We made a trade. Me and you made a pretty big trade.
Yeah, couple of
Yeah,
them.
what was up with your trade?
Well, I gave him a really good play for a second round pick.
Yeah, you gave him a 1992 second round pick.
Yeah.
Well, first I tried. Yeah, first I wanted
Oops.
because I really wanted to just like redraft Junior Seau. Was my plan there? Get a 92 pick. Then
So was
apparently
that just an error in the file or what?
yeah.
Yes. Well, yes. For some reason, I've had like the all five 1992 picks since I came back, and I couldn't find them in the database. But when we actually use it in a trade, it made it easier to find them. So
Okay.
so there's
Oh,
that.
so that's why you made that trade?
I didn't
Yeah.
make the trade. Honestly, I thought it was for the 1996 or whatever pick, and then
Well,
I saw I
yeah.
still had all my picks.
Yeah, it was looking like a real bad deal for me, but since he's a kid, he wants he
You're cutting out there, DT.
oh just you fixed it is all I was saying.
The fixer, the
But
wolf.
yeah. Otherwise, I would have been screwed because it turns out that there is no time machine.
Nope.
That was why I made that trade. I was basing it off that you can just travel through time easily.
Did you notice the countdown?
Pretty sweet. What was it say? I don't know.
It
What
went
count?
it went from cuts, like the cuts deadline is in within 5 minutes, to now it says the free agency deadline is 1 day and 3 minutes plus.
Yeah, what's up with that extra few minutes there? That's
It's usually it would think it would
usual.
still say the cuts deadline.
It's confusing.
Strange.
But yeah, I don't know. Was there any other? I mean, I was looking. What happened? What else happened? I made a couple trades.
Well, let's look at the trades. We had I mean earlier in the season, September. This is this current off season, September.
I mean, there just really wasn't that many trades. Like,
Yeah.
No, this was a big one. Bobby Humphrey went to the Giants for a whopping total of 4 steps up.
yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like, what changed since the draft is all kind of what I'm. But yeah, some other trades that went down.
Tamarick Van Over.
Yes,
Swap in teams.
latest last second trade.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
I
nothing
got a
stands
couple
out.
bets. I shuffled my
Chip
roster a little
Lowmiller.
bit. Chip Lowmiller and Fred Barnett.
Nice.
yeah, you're right. There wasn't really anything earth shattering.
Not at all. So, with that being said, break it down? What's who you expect to come out of the NFC?
On the NFC side, I definitely think the Cowboys will be able to compete with the Giants.
Yep.
Um,
Did Miami improve enough to get in the discussion?
I think they were hoping for a little bit more from they drafted Marvin Harrison, and he ended up rolling what?
4469.
Yeah, 44 MS.
Still, that's a pretty big
He's
addition.
it is a big addition.
I mean, it's a totally reshuffled team. This is kind of hard to. This is like apples and oranges. Didn't he take over Miami anyway?
he took over for Middle Doug, who just disappeared.
So trying to predict where not a lot to go on is what I'm saying.
Yeah, Middle Doug's season started pretty rough, and Johnny did scrape out some wins. Let's see. Might, yeah, he went 4-5 with the team.
It's
Two,
not bad.
two of those
Yeah.
losses were to Dolo.
You had a really good offseason. Buffalo, they're kind of a not very newsworthy offseason, but I would still expect Tadau's to, be competitive here. So I think that's a pretty. I'm saying you got a pretty open division. Is how I see it.
I agree. I think it
I would
is
kind of
pretty
predict
wide
you
open.
to. I'm officially predicting you to win that division, but would not be surprised if somebody won it with like an 8-8 record.
I do think it'll be more along the lines of a 10-6 type deal.
Yeah.
But all right, so I mean,
What about the Central?
on
Any
the
reason
Central,
to expect anybody's going to knock off Arnco?
no, they didn't lose a whole bunch, right?
The only big thing is that he did lose Gary Brown's MS, but then he acquired Barry Foster.
Yep.
Uh,
Still has Neil O'Donnell. Still has
He will.
Grady. And let's throw another 56 MS linebacker into the mix.
right. Big
got
hit with Kevin Hardy.
Kevin
Huge
Hardy.
hit. Monster.
What do you boys think about Houston and Tennessee? Do you think they have a chance to turn it around?
Houston has definitely in the discussion to turn around.
Oh yeah, Houston. I think Houston just had a bad year.
Okay.
They had a rough go, and then they were rewarded.
Houston still doesn't have a QB.
One of the better rookies that we've ever seen in this.
Yeah, that's a game changer on defense. He's got Ray Lewis with 31 interceptions, and he's 21 years old.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy.
And he already has like a pretty stellar secondary. David Fulcher
Solid.
long. We know what Jeff Burris can do. We just saw it in the Pro Bowl.
It's definitely true. He just locked it down.
A lot of question marks at QB though. Rookie Tony Banks, veteran or also rookie, but only
Veteran
coming in the
Hoying.
league at age 24. Bobby Hoying will be vying for that spot.
Yeah, I think it will be maybe another like 11-5 and 10-6 at the top there between those two. It's potential. Let's see,
Interesting.
Drake's off season. I don't think he did very well in the draft. I think he was complaining about. Let's see.
I remember what.
He got Terry Glenn, 38 MS at 15th. And his 2.15, he had my luck on the O-line, 44 HP in the second round.
Yeah, you would hope for a little more.
He got Reggie Tongue. There's some there's some interest from Seattle's war room in Reggie Tongue.
Yep, Reggie Tongue was definitely on my radar screen.
Yeah. Well, he definitely fits into your mold of the low INTPP.
I do tend to gravitate towards it.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Denver also wishes the Seahawks would have grabbed Reggie Tongue.
Yeah, Rick Meyer loves that shit. He's like, fuck it. I'm just going to throw it as far as possible.
One of the underrated moves for Drake really is he's got Falk to 63 MS. That's pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's big. So
Yeah, no, this team looks very solid to me.
Marvin Jones is a beast.
So 7-8-1 last. I mean, is it enough to improve?
I think the improvement of the Oilers makes it pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
And
I'm
then
just wondering if maybe Houston ends up stealing a win or two from Baltimore. It's kind of how I'm kind of wondering. I just feel like Houston has a little mojo.
I'm looking at Tennessee's draft now, and they got Terrell Owens, 50-69. Pete Kendall hit. He was definitely kind of on my radar when I took
Huge hit.
Brewski. Philip Daniels, I don't know if you guys know this, but he was born the literal exact same day I was.
Huh.
Also, former Cowboy.
Huh. Former Seahawk.
He bounced around. He was also a Redskin. I think he's a current like Eagles
Yeah.
coach.
Okay. I do
He
remember.
was with the Redskins coaching. Anyways,
So that's pretty good, actually. When you look at this whole, you could definitely see JP making a pretty big leap this year.
he's got Curtis, my favorite, Martin.
These guys are going to struggle getting wins off of San Fran, for sure. The three of them.
That's pretty par for the course when Morales has got his team humming, and his team's humming. Even with the loss of Marino last year, that
Yeah.
team is pretty solid.
I mean, I guess the question here is how they look in comparison to the improvement with the other teams.
I think a big one is this getting Terrell Owens on this one gives him a. He's from Gerbach to Owens is good. Has that already been a pairing before? Not sure about that.
In real life?
Yeah,
What are we talking about?
I was thinking in real life.
No. Gerbach, no.
Well, Owens gives them a Hail Mary shot, which it doesn't look like they had otherwise. Did they lose somebody in the offseason?
No research was done on my part for this.
Yeah, same here.
After dark.
Yeah, and they didn't. They just Kevin Mack aged. Curtis Martin missed the 70% gain roll, which is pretty rough. Rolled a 91. Lost a couple of O linemen, Z Frost Moss and Mike Devlin.
No small matter.
No. Missed two other 70% gains. Pretty rough. Gilbert Brown and Eli Alexander, who I'm thinking, who is Eli Alexander?
Linebacker.
That. But he did get Darren Perry to gain at 50.
Yeah, that's pretty huge. Is Darren Perry the best DB now?
I mean, his RP is still 38. But, I mean, the MS is pretty legit. 75 interception can't be beat.
Yeah.
You can JJ just about anybody that you can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Still think it's Orange Division.
For sure.
See about the West, and then we'll maybe make our wild card predictions here.
All right.
So I mean, indeed, not exactly a crazy offseason, but
No, stood pat.
Squadron back. Real quiet addition. They had a very weak linebacking core.
Yes, definitely.
He hit hard.
That was pretty rough. Orpheus Roy, not too shabby.
Nope.
Beefed up his D-line a little bit. Jeff Lewis, not really inspiring. That's about it. They really rode their 95 draft to glory with Terrell Davis, Galloway, and Rob Johnson leading the way.
Yep.
Brendan Sty, Pro Bowler Brendan Sty.
Brendan Sty.
Yeah, so I definitely think getting that linebacker, I mean, it's pretty rough. Didn't get the 44 RP, but you hope for a year or two of getting a gain, and then he's definitely a usable force instead of somebody you're trying to overachieve with.
I think Earl Holmes is going to have a nice career in Indianapolis.
Would hope so. Or he could hit on a linebacker next year. We shall see. He's definitely got good, strength.
Yeah.
So who do you think is gonna be next up in the West here? Out of Cleveland, Washington, and Pitt.
Okay. Now let's take a peek here. Let's go with the last year standing. Look at Cleveland here, who did some shuffling. This is Rashawn Salam has just joined this team, right?
Rashawn Salam hit in
last year.
Yeah, he hit in '95, and that's how he had both Salam and Foster, and rode them to the playoffs.
There you go. Yeah. So Ike Bruce, I mean, he was there last year, but it's a dangerous team to play.
Yeah,
So
the offense looks very solid.
you can get used and abused by Brett Favre.
Well, you could tell he was wanting some
Down.
speed when he picked up Jermaine Lewis. I mean, Isaac Bruce being their fastest one at 44. It's kind of rough too.
That's he did a good job with the face for Jermaine Lewis. Really nailed him.
I think that's my Jake Locker pick.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, I peeled a kicker off of Marty Schottenheimer. Vinatieri, Vanderjack, and Lowmiller. So decided he was willing to part with
Chip.
decided it was a little reluctant at first in the trade talks, and then no.
What did you trade for him?
Wasn't
Fifth
it
round.
like a fifth rounder?
Fifth
I mean,
rounder?
that's basically
Okay.
nothing.
Yeah. I mean,
But-
the guy did have 3 kickers on his team. So
Yeah, it's a lot of kickers.
yeah.
So
Even 2 kickers is a lot of kickers.
He did
Vanderjack
take Vinatieri.
he will go down as the Vanderjack will go down, sure, but it is of note that he in his day was one of the most accurate kickers.
Oh yeah. But yeah, you're
He
right.
might just spend his whole career just sucking a big nut behind Vinatieri here.
I think it's it's good Tecmo ending for an idiot kicker. I could think of worse because he was an idiot kicker for Dallas too.
Was he really?
Oh yeah, he kicked for
Yeah.
Dallas.
Why don't you
He
trade
really-
for him?
He really faded fast.
Yeah, he didn't kick very well for Dallas. He led
Yeah,
to
he
the
sucked.
Dan Bailey years. All right, well, good, a solid team on. Look at his secondaries. He's got Aaron Glenn. I hear my echo on. Is that on you, DT?
I don't hear it. It may be. I don't know. But let's check out these Redskins here. He's got some issues. He's got the Collins experiment going.
Yeah. He traded Scott Mitchell.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, he made it longer with Washington than you'd expect him to. I mean, at some point, you just got to trade Scott Mitchell. You got to move on.
At some point,
Yeah. I traded Scott Mitchell to him. That's how I got Meyer.
it's facts, big time
Yeah.
facts.
So
But-
I don't know. I mean,
Ronald Moore.
he's got Ronald
He's
Moore.
good.
He's got Herman Moore. He's got the Moore brothers.
Yeah. Westbrook.
Didn't Moore hit? Wasn't Moore 50 MS last
Yeah,
season?
yeah. So that's something. That's something you can kind of say, okay, there's some new shit here. But quarterback situation, it's going to be tough for Washington to really have. You wouldn't expect them to be.
I thought he also got Larry Webster for dirt cheap. 50 RP, 50 MS,
That's a
defensive
tasty.
lineman.
Yeah. Nobody. I think. Yeah. Something about the low HP. It's
He got him for a fifth rounder.
2
Oh,
pointers.
really? Wow.
Really?
Okay.
Shit.
I saw
Well,
that.
he's-
I was like,
That's
oh,
pretty good.
good for you, Cubs. Quite
Who do you
the
get him
steal.
from?
JP. You got him from the Titans.
Okay.
But it's also you get to a point where I didn't look at his roster, but I remember Stalltalk had a shit ton of D linemen and was gonna need to cut one. I ended up getting, I think I got a 44 RP one out of it because I was 1-15 coming into the league. Not 1-15. I was pretty low, but nobody below me was in need of a D lineman.
Yeah.
So I got one for free basically by waiting
Nice.
Stalltalk out.
Fudge. Yeah, so we'll see. I don't know. Building year for North Turner here, but at least I'm not going to be picking Washington.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, they look weaker than.
I mean,
than
those
Cleveland.
two linebackers can be. I mean, I've struggled to score against
Oh,
this
yeah.
front.
I've I wouldn't put it past Cubs fan to get some wins with this roster. I'm just saying, law of averages. I wouldn't expect him to be a contender.
Probably not in this division.
But what about Pittsburgh? Swamp's got a running back now.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge.
Already had a nice QB, nice RB. He already has a nice wide receiver. I mean, he's got a really nice.
His offense really can't be fucked with.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is kind of Swamp. When he had his Pittsburgh, when he '80s, his mid '80s run, it was a similar situation. Good QB, good wide receiver that he just threw to over and over again, and then a good running back.
Two good linebackers.
Yeah.
Wait, is Swamp the one that tanked like 2 seasons ago?
You mean did not win very many games, like at all? Like what, one win?
Strategically,
Yeah. I mean,
few wins.
It definitely had the look of it.
Okay, so he came out on the other side
To
very
accuse someone of
nicely.
tanking, but yeah, it was it had the look and the feel of a tank job.
Well, I mean, I don't think tanking is like a negative thing. It's like strategic, right? No, I'm like being serious. It's like strategic. Like his team looks really good now. He made out like a bandit.
I mean,
there's no lies detected. His team he's got 25 MS, 50 PC. He just hit the 56 MS running back. Can't get a better receiver than Jimmy Smith. He's just missing the roided out tight end.
all right.
Yeah.
Let's hear it. What do we got? What's your how you see 1-5 going here? Who wants to go first?
Say it again.
Let's hear your 1 through 5 from the NFC.
From the NFC?
Yeah.
Like not considering divisions, just top 5 power ranks.
No. Like who's going to finish? In the 5.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think you got to go Matty D first, and then Arn Combe too. I think that's like not debatable if they're like the upper crust. And then
that's tough to argue against.
It's kind
I
of.
mean, I think maybe you need to go Swamp 3. I mean, his team just looks so good.
Yeah. I mean, he can't finish in the 3 just because of the divisions, but
Right.
yeah, power rank 3, sure. I could see that.
I'm going to say that Dolo will hang on for another year. Win the division.
Do you expect him to win the division?
I don't know about expect, but
I mean, you're in the division, so whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna say my prediction is gonna be, Indy top spot. Arn, I think, is gonna hold on to number 2. Although I could definitely see him struggle somehow. I could see it. He's not like just so good that he's just going to overwhelm people. Obviously he has that free safety, Lonnie Young, but I would expect him to be number 2. And then I think you're going to make a push here with Dallas. I think you made some nice improvements. I'm going to put you in the 3 hole. And then I'm going to say that the last 2 teams that make the playoffs will be the Giants, and I think that the Steelers also will make the playoffs. That's Swamp's team.
I have it where I think Dolo will win the division. I think the 2 wildcard teams will be the Cowboys and the Oilers, the Texas teams.
Yeah, that was kind of had it between them and I think Houston. I just something about Houston. I just think a little mojo.
I think it's gonna be rough with that quarterback situation.
That's the thing. I mean, I just poo-pooed on Washington for no quarterbacks.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Purple Haze is good with quarterbacks, right?
Yeah, he's just got such a monster defense.
Yeah, but I mean, throwing with a quarterback that's 38 is just so brutal.
Yeah, I guess
you have to be like so patient to do that. I don't know.
I think that he'll do a little better because he's got the 56. He's still got Chris Carter, who's pretty fast, and then another 50 guy, Frank Sanders, I think I like the speed guys, to go with the shitty lob fest back versus
Mhm.
Herman Moore is kind of watch go-to guy. Like that might to really take advantage of the reception ability. I don't know. Houston's got. I like Houston. I think they're going to be in the mix, but I'll stick with my prediction. I think Pittsburgh will somehow sneak in the playoffs over them.
All right. What do you say to Gonick?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess in the East, I'm not sure. It seems close. It definitely seems close between Dolo, Camp, and Tadaus.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, I guess just to be different, I'm going to go with Buffalo winning the division.
Cool. I mean, it's not a possibility, I'd say.
It's not a possibility.
It's in the realm of possibility.
Oh, okay. I thought you said it's not. It's not possible. Yeah. And then I mean, like I said, I think Swamp's team looks like a monster. And then I guess for the other wild card, I guess I'll go Camp just because he's on this call.
Oh yeah, he's right there.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's a toss up. Like Dolo strong, Camp strong, Purple Haze is strong.
So
Drake could make a run.
Camp, out of respect, is not predicting a Dolo fall off, but I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot to come what he's having to replace.
I mean, he had Emmett, and now he has a 56 MS running back. I think that's really the key. He had already, like, Vinny was already on his down. I think Vinny got down to 50 PC this last season. And it's not like Dolo can't succeed with, subpar quarterbacks. He's no stranger.
I think the real question is, will Dolo play all his games?
You got
see, and that's never really been a question for me.
Okay.
It always
like it's not necessarily like the fastest always. Every once in a while there's a weird Wolf Howling Moon where he is the fastest to get him in, but most of the time he'll just communicate when he's out and make sure he gets caught up when he does get back. I don't know. I've been at the bad end of having to wait for Dolo in a playoff game to schedule, but he usually, I think he gets a bit of a bad rap.
There you go.
He communicates with me.
Okay. I guess that is the key. I guess.
I thought that was a good joke, at least.
Yeah. Camp took it like super seriously though.
I did.
Yeah.
Got on my soapbox.
He's like, "That's my quarterback."
It's like it's Glenn Foley time.